See, next environment variables, small chapter, environment variables. First, what are environment variables? It is global topic. You can find environment variables in operating system, any operating system. What are environment variables? See, environment variables are global variables, depends on operating system environment. See, they are global variables, depends on operating system environment, operating environment. What is the purpose of environment variables in our UFT test automation? See, purpose of environment variables. Purpose of environment variables. See, two advantages. One is centralized maintenance of variables. Centralized maintenance of variables. Next, tests portability. See, first one, what is centralized maintenance of variables? Suppose in our project one variable is there called price that we have to use in multiple tests. For example, 40 to 50 tests. If we declare as local variable in each and every test, what will happen? Maintenance difficult. Suppose on first build, on first version of software, price value 100. On second version of software, price value 200. If we use local variable, what will happen? You need to open each and every test and modify the value. Instead of that, if we use global variable, nothing but environment variable, you no need to open any test, just open environment variables file, XML file, perform changes that can be automatically reflected to all associated tests. One-time modification, centralized maintenance of variables. Getting this point? What is centralized maintenance of variables?
Yes, I got it.
Say, whenever we want to use, just a minute. Whenever we want to use any variable in multiple tests, same variable in multiple tests, choose environment variables. Why? Centralized maintenance. You modify at one place, that can be reflected to all associated tests. Otherwise, you need to open each and every test and modify. Say, whenever we want to use any variable, one or more variables, not only single variable. Whenever we want to use any variable in multiple tests, then choose environment variables. Environment variables. Why? Modifications simple. Centralized maintenance of variables. If you modify at one place, that can be automatically reflected to all associated tests. Instead of environment variable, if you choose local variable, you need to open each and every test and modify the value. Next, when no need to choose, suppose another scenario, this is one scenario, another scenario. Suppose whenever you want to use any variable in single test, you no need to choose environment variable. Why? Modification same, maintenance same. See, whenever you want to use any variable in a single test, then no need to choose. No need to choose environment variables. Environment variables. Why? Maintenance same. Okay. Centralized maintenance. Okay. What is test portability? Executing tests from different machines. Executing tests from different machines. See, test portability. Executing same tests from different machines, different computers. Say I created 100 tests in my machine, want to execute these tests from another machine. Suppose I used application paths according to my machine. If I want to execute these tests from another machine, for example, another machine application path is different, then we need to open each and every test and modify the value where we used application path. Suppose instead of application path, if you take that application path into environment variable and use environment variable, then you no need to change any test. Just open environment variables file, change the path according to new mission, and you can execute. Getting this point?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Test portability, executing tests from different missions. If we use application path according to your mission, then you need to change the path according to new mission. If you take, if we use exact value means that application path, you need to open each and every test and modify the value. Suppose if we take that application path into environment variable, you no need to open any test, just open environment variables file and change the path according to new mission, then you can execute. See, two advantages of environment variables in our test automation. One is central maintenance of variables, centralized maintenance of variables. Another is test portability. Next, types of variables in UFT, types of environment variables. Types of environment variables. First type, built-in variables. Next, user defined variables. See, built-in variables that we can use as it is. You no need to associate anything. User defined variables. First we need to create first you need to create variables, then export to XML. By associating that file you can access them. See, for user defined variables, some steps. First step, create environment variables. Here user defined. Create environment variables. Next, the same, and export to XML. Environment variables file extension is XML. Next, associate environment variables file, or alternate is there, load environment variables file during execution at runtime. Next, last step, access environment variables. Access environment variables. See, this access is common. If it is a built-in variable or user defined variable, accessing environment variables same. How to access? Environment, it is utility object. Environment of environment variable name. Environment variable name. This is syntax. Next, modify environment variables. It is optional if required. Modify environment variable. Next, delete, optional. Whenever you want to delete, you can delete. Delete environment variables. It is optional. Say, file menu, settings, environment. Here observe, some built-in variables are there. OS, product dir, means UFT installation directory. OS, local system operating system, local computer operating environment. How to access? Environment, it is utility object of environment variable name, suppose OS. And one more thing, VB script is not a case sensitive language, but environment variables are case sensitive. See, note, environment variables are case sensitive. If you want to display this one, MSG box, next MSG box, environment of product dir, UFT installation directory. Run the test. See Microsoft Windows 7 operating system. See program files HP Unified Functional Testing UFT installation directory. Next, create environment variables. User defined. Concentrate. File. Just a minute. Navigation. Navigation for creating environment variables. Next, navigation for associating environment variables file. First, navigation, file menu, settings, environment, next select variable type as user defined, next click add icon, next enter variable name and value, say file, settings, environment, select variable type as user defined, click add icon, enter variable name, suppose agent, value London, click OK. Next again add icon. Like this you repeat the steps. Click OK. Next again click add icon. If you want to create multiple variables, see, repeat this navigation. If you want to create more than one variable, again click add icon if you want to create multiple variables. Next, export option is there. Export. Click export option, browse path, and OK. See. Export. Click export. Next, browse path to store XML file. Okay. See, guide me the navigation. How to create environment variables.
File menu.
File menu.
Se-
Settings.
Environment.
Environment. Select variable type as user defined. Click add icon. Suppose agent value London. Next, password value Mercury. Next, app path, application path. Just a minute. Provide the application path. Okay. Next, A100. See, like this you can create multiple variables, number of variables. Next, click export, browse path for storing. Suppose I want to store on desktop, file name ABCD, XML is extension. Okay. Observe ABCD XML file created. Next, by associating that file, you can access environment variables. See how to associate. Take new test. File menu, settings, environment, select variable type as user defined. Here check this option. Load variables and values from external file. Browse path of the file. Apply OK. Then you can access them. See. Navigation. File menu. Settings. Environment. Next, select variable as user defined. Next, check load variables, load variables and values from external file. See, observe. File, settings, environment, user defined. This is already added now. Load variables and values from external file. Next, browse path of the XML file. Next, apply. Okay. Just a minute. First, I will create one new test. Then I will show how to use environment parameters. Using environment variables as parameters. In parameterization chapter, this environment parameters topic also pending. In this chapter, I am going to cover that one. In previous chapter, we covered action parameters. In this chapter, environment parameters. See new test. Generate login. Okay. Stop. See here I am using suppose A, B, C, D fixed values. If you want to observe the test data, you can insert verification. You can insert wait statement. If you want to observe the test data, you can insert wait statement. It is optional. Run the script. See A, B, C, D. Okay. Suppose I want to use environment variables. File, settings, environment, select variable type as user defined, click check load variables and values from external file, browse path of the file, apply, okay. Next you can use environment variables. You know how to access. This is common syntax for built-in variables as well as user-defined variables. Environment, it is utility object of, say, it is providing context help. Agent, sorry, app path na. Environment of application path. Next, environment of agent. Next, environment of password. Run the script. London. Suppose modify the value. Chennai. Run the script. Chennai. It is taking Chennai. This is about using environment variables as parameters. Just a minute. Just you deassociate that environment variables file. Deassociate file settings environment, select variable type as user defined, uncheck this option, load variables and values from external file, uncheck. Okay. Next, try to run the script. Definitely it will show error. Run the script. See, observe. The environment parameter app path was not found. See, using environment variables as parameters. Here, instead of associating environment variables file, you can load environment variables file during execution. At runtime you can load. How to load? See, concept is load environment variables file during execution. See, syntax, environment of environment dot load from file, next within double quotes, path of the file, path of the environment variables file. abcd.xml. See, now no association. Observe, settings, environment, user defined, no variables. During execution, it will load automatically. Run the script. Executing. Just a minute. The last 2 minutes. Observe. You know how to create user defined variables and how to connect, means how to access. Next, how to load environment variables file at runtime. Next, how to edit. See, just right click on this XML file. Just a minute. Right click on XML file, edit. Here we can edit variables, variable values. Next, how to delete. Suppose I don't want this A variable. Select these tags and delete. Save. And one more thing. Without UFT tool also, you can create environment variables. You can create environment variables file. How to create? Open Notepad, type tags, save as XML. See, observe. Note. Without UFT tool also we can create and we can create environment variables. How? Launch notepad, next type tags, next save as a XML file. Save as XML. See, just last minute. Tags of environment variables file. See, 4 tags. Just a minute. Tags of environment variables file. See these 4 tags. For every variable 3 tags minimum. For file 1 file level tag, just a minute. Here how many tags? 4 tags. You can type these tags. Here environment open tag. This is open tag. Next environment close tag. Open tag and end tag. Next variable open and close or end tag. Open tag, close tag. Next name open and close tag. Next value open and close tag. Tell me what are the tags in environment variable file? 4 tags. One is environment. Next
one environment.
Next variable tag. Next name tag, value tag. Remember environment, that is file level tag. Next remaining 3 variable level tags. Variable tag, open tag, close tag. Name, open tag, close tag. Value, open tag, close tag. Say if you want to create 10 variables, total how many tags? Want to create 10 environment variables, total how many tags?
10 tags. No, 11 tags, 12 tags.
For every variable 3 tags minimum na. Variable
Yeah, open,
tag,
close, yes.
variable, see observe. For every variable, see, forget about environment tag, that is only one tag, file level tag. For every variable we used minimum 3 tags. For agent 3 tags, password 3 tags, application path 3 tags. Suppose I want to create 10 environment variables, total how many tags? Why you are struggling? 10 into 3, 30 plus
10.
file level tag
30.
1, file level tag 31.
32.
31.
31.
1. See, consider open and close tags as single tag. Total how many tags? Suppose
Okay,
I want
31,
to
31.
suppose I want to create 8 environment variables. 8. Total how many tags?
8 3s are 24, 125.
25. Suppose I want to create only one environment file. One environment variable.
Plus 1, 4.
4. Yes. I want to create one environment variable. 4. See, if it is one variable or hundreds of variable, environment tag is mandatory. If it is one or more variable, one environment tag is mandatory, that is file level tag. Okay, understand the concept.